So if you've already leveled your truck and now you want to go bigger because that's what everybody wants to do, the question is, can you do that? And luckily the answer is yes, you absolutely can. So we are in that exact boat right now. We have Kryptonite leveling kit on our F-250, but we want to go bigger wheels and tires, and just like the look of lifted trucks. So what we elected to do here is go with a 5-inch BDS kit. So you can absolutely upgrade from your level kit to a new lift kit. So we'll be pulling that stuff off to slap this on, and let me just kind of run you through some of the components that are included with this kit. This is a pretty nice kit, especially when you look at the price point. You really do get a lot for this, and kind of the upgrade options, I'm not gonna say they're endless, but there are significant upgrade options depending on what fits your budget. So starting all the way on the left here, these are the new front coil springs. These are a dual rate spring. Well, what does that mean? It means that it's gonna be similar to stock, or possibly even better than stock ride quality. So you're not sacrificing ride quality while still going up in height and allowing yourself to fit bigger wheels and tires. The bracketry is kind of really boring. There's not a whole lot to talk about here with the bracketry because it's not fun and exciting, but it does do important things as far as making sure that all your steering geometry is correct and that you're not running into any problems there with your alignment. BDS does a nice job with their finishes. This is a textured black powder coat. I like that it's not quite so showy and like high gloss. It looks very strong, very durable. We've ran BDS kits on a number of trucks throughout the years, and they always hold up great, especially even in our nasty Wisconsin winters and all the salt and other junk they put on the road. As we continue down the line here, this is a new Fitment arm because Ford says if you take this off your truck, you have to replace it. You can't just reuse the one that's on there. I don't know why, don't ask me, I don't work for Ford. The smaller bracketry here, these are just brake line relocation brackets, nothing super exciting there. You don't have to extend your brake lines or do anything crazy like that. This is just moving where they mount so that it's not getting in the way of anything and that you still have full articulation and movement of your axles. As we keep going down, you'll see here that we have these 4 Fox shocks. The base kit comes with the NX2 series shocks, which are direct from BDS. They're the ones that are manufacturing those. Obviously, Fox is a huge name in the off-road world, and they do make really good stuff. I've ran Foxes on a number of my trucks, and I do really enjoy them. So these are the 2.0s. You can upgrade even further if you want to the Performance Elite series shocks from Fox. Those are super nice. Remote reservoirs on those, the feedback reservoirs. They're dual speed adjustable. You can adjust the compression, the rebound, all that jazz. So if you're really trying to dial in an off-road setup, that might be the route for you. If you're into the high-speed stuff, you know, sending it through the whoops, that's probably a good option for you. If it's a little less intense off-roading, this is definitely a fine option for you, or even just the really nice on-road quality. I know that Fox is geared towards off-road, that's where everybody pictures it, but still the on-road characteristics of these shocks are really good. And the comfortable ride is really important, especially in a Super Duty, because from factory they're not super comfortable to ride in. So this is gonna give you a little more comfort. The big beefy components here, these are the new radius arms. They look a little bland right now because they don't have the nameplates fixed to them, but they do include that, so you can slap it on there for a little pizzazz. I really like that these are tubular style. It's different than what other people are doing with just the boxed in, boring looking ones. These are, like I said, very beefy looking. I love the tubular style. It's different from other people, and these are super strong as well. As we keep going down, you'll see that this is not a Fox shock. This is an NX2 steering stabilizer. So you do get a steering stabilizer with this kit, which is nice. The decal isn't on here because depending on how you mount it, where you want it, you can make sure that the decal is facing the way that you want. New extended U-bolts, because you're gonna need that, because we also have taller blocks. So as far as the rear lift options on here, you can go with the blocks. You can also go with a entirely new leaf pack. Depending on what truck you have, if you have a rear overload spring, there are blocks that are specific for that. Overall, at the end of the day, this is gonna lift your truck 5 inches and it will still sit level. That's the other question that we get. Do I need a leveling kit and a lift kit if I want my truck to also be level? Because from factory, it's gonna sit a little taller in the rear so that when you put a trailer on it, it levels out. If you get a leveling kit, you've now brought up the front. If you get a lift kit, even if you take that level kit back out, this lift kit brings it up to a perfectly level height, 5 inches taller than factory. Another important note on there is with the new tremor package. So your basic, well, really all the F-250s, like ours is a Platinum. F-250 Platinum sits here, right? Tremor sits just slightly taller than that one. If you put a 5-inch kit on here, it's not gonna end up where the tremor is still taller. It brings them both up to ride 5 inches taller than your base standard Super Duty in our case. So you can still get the lift on there, it's just not quite as tall on the tremor, but overall ends up at the same height. BDS says with this kit you can slap 37s on. I think you could probably go a little more aggressive than that. I have seen guys running 38s. I'd be really curious to see if you could actually stuff 40s on here with a bunch of trimming and a bunch of cutting. I haven't verified that, so if you're gonna do it, you can't say that I told you to do it, because I'm not saying that. But if you do, send us pictures, we're gonna wanna see. So we're gonna take this downstairs so that banker can get installed on our Super Duty. We'll slap some new wheels and tires on there and look at how this thing looks all said and done. Let's go.
So now that we got the BDS kit installed, putting some miles on here, I can kind of get a feel for it. And BDS has always been known as a good option for the people that are still using their trucks, right? This is a kit that it's by no means cheap. I don't want to say that this is a cheap kit, but it's not the most expensive kit out there either. Kind of a slightly above middle is where I would place it. Meaning that you're going to get good ride quality out of it, but it's still extremely durable. I mean, BDS has always been known for their no fine print warranty. They're super easy to work with. As I've been driving around, some of the things that I've noticed here, the rear is a little stiffer than I would have expected. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. After all, this is a Super Duty, right? So it's going to be stiff in the rear. And I'm kind of spoiled because I get to drive on fancy Fox shocks every day, electronic dampeners and all that in my Raptor. So I'm very used to a very squishy ride. So being a Super Duty is a totally different beast. The front, however, I'm extremely impressed with. This is a very soft ride for a heavy duty truck. I think a lot of that is due to the progressive brake coils that we have installed in here with the BDS kit. Now we went, a step above and had all this stuff powder coated and made it look really cool. But if you're going for that cool look while also trying to still use your truck, as I've said 12 times already, I think BDS is a good option for you. Those progressive coils mean that through town or even on like county highways and stuff like that, the smaller bumps are able to be eaten up really easily because it's a little softer, right? And then as you go through the suspension travel, it's gonna firm up. Overall, pretty impressed. I think it's a pretty solid kit without completely breaking the bank.
Well, that just about wraps up this video. So that's the BDS kit on our Super Duty. If you guys are interested in any lift kits, we got them all on the website, customoffsets.com, with a ton more information. Check it out. Peace.